Alright, so yeah, we've unwrapped all of our presents. Hub, did you get everything you wanted for Life Day?
Yeah, I'd say I was satisfied, though I was more hyped for a lot of the Marvel stuff, but in terms of the Star Wars stuff, I think what we have here is pretty interesting, I'd say. I like how a lot of these projects sound really unique from each other.
We're finally going to get a good Fantastic Four film.
Oh my god, yes.
And it's being helmed by the Spider-Man guy.
I looked on Twitter and I saw some retards being like, "Oh, Jon Watts bad. He directed the bus scene in Far From Home, so it's gonna be shit." And I'm like, okay, retards, fucking. First off, calm down.
How is that bad? I thought it was fun.
You know, like, I don't know why people hate that scene so much. Like, I've seen it, like, several times, and I'm like, okay, I get not liking the scene, but, like, I don't really see what the big fucking deal is. It's not like... this isn't some Amazing Spider-Man 2 shit, where a bunch of good scenes get ruined in context. But, like, I get it, like, I get saying, oh, well, he directed one bad scene, but that's, like, one scene out of several great scenes he's added. Plus, I see this as thematically perfect because, for those of you who don't know, the Fantastic Four is what launched Marvel, or gave Marvel the leverage to make several characters like Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, and bring back characters like Captain America from the Golden Age purgatory. And Spider-Man debuted in Amazing Fantasy 15, which was renamed from Amazing Adult Fantasy, and that was a failing book back then, so they decided to slap the debut of Spider-Man on a failing book. However, when that issue ended up becoming so popular, Marvel decided, okay, how are we going to bring Spider-Man into this universe? And they were like, well, bring the Fantastic Four in. That's our most popular book. So, Amazing Spider-Man #1 has that cover of Spider-Man with the Fantastic Four. So they helped launch Spider-Man into prominence. And now it's like Spider-Man is giving back to the Fantastic Four because Spider-Man has had several good films under his belt, whereas the Fantastic Four has had 0 good films. Some might argue the Tim Story ones, those being the 2005 movie and Rise of the Silver Surfer, have their merits, but those aren't particularly good movies in my opinion.
They were passable, but like, making Galactus a cloud was unacceptable.
And WB will get the idea to do that with Parallax in the Green Lantern movie a few years later.
Oh, God.
So, we have Jon Watts, the director of Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, directing a Fantastic Four movie. And this leads people to wondering who's going to direct the next Spider-Man trilogy, because people are assuming he's going to get another one, which, knowing Spider-Man, he probably most likely will get another trilogy. But this makes me wonder if he's going to be appearing in the Fantastic Four movie, and that to me is a requirement, because one of Spider-Man's greatest team-ups is with the Human Torch. They have like this really funny bromance together, and Spider-Man is considered a member of the family by the Fantastic Four. Like, I think Franklin Richards, the son of Reed and Sue, call Peter Parker like Uncle Spidey or some shit.
Aww.
Yeah, so I would really love it if Spider-Man was a recurring / main character in the Fantastic Four franchise. Like, just the fact that Jon Watts, who directed 2 of some of my favorite Spider-Man movies, is fucking directing this shit. Yeah, I'm fucking sold, man. I'm fucking ready for this Fantastic Four movie.
I like how Jon Watts is Marvel's go-to guy to reboot and integrate Marvel film franchises that existed before the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, characters like Iron Man and stuff existed long before the MCU did, but like...
I talk about film franchises, not characters.
Yeah, because the Fantastic... Spider-Man, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four were the 3 major Marvel properties to get movie adaptations in the 2000s. Like, you had others like Daredevil and Hulk, but those never really gained franchises like those 3 did. So, Spider-Man, like, the reason why we didn't see, like, Disney be so insistent on getting the Fantastic Four or X-Men in the MCU as quickly as Spider-Man is because Sony was in a lot of fucking trouble after The Amazing Spider-Man 2 underperformed. They expected that movie to make $1 billion, and then it didn't. It made about a little over $700 million, and it performed the lowest. It was the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie at the time, and they were panicking. They were scrambling for all sorts of ideas of what to do next. You can actually look up the leaked emails that took place in 2014, and you could just fucking tell they were, like, fucking on fire. We even got notes from Kevin Feige, who's the Marvel Studios equivalent to Kathleen Kennedy, giving notes on how to improve The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they just fucking ignored him. And they later hatched the deal in 2015 to integrate Spider-Man into the MCU, because Spider-Man, in terms of merchandise sales, is the highest grossing superhero, and he makes over $1 billion annually for merchandise alone. Now imagine that, but add to the last couple years of stuff like Homecoming, Into the Spider-Verse, the PS4 game, Far From Home, all that shit. Imagine how much more money Spider-Man has made within these last few years. Like, of course they're gonna want to fucking put him in the MCU. He's, like, by far their most popular character. And the reason, and I know some people don't like that they had Peter Parker's story correlate with Tony Stark's, but I'd say that was necessary because after The Amazing Spider-Man 2, audiences really started to get tired of Spider-Man. They had 5 Spider-Man movies in the span of, like, 12 years. 2 of which were beloved, 1 that was hated but is seeing more love now, which I don't entirely get. 1 that is considered, decent for the most part, and then 1 that's just terrible. And this reflected in the box office totals. So they needed someone, if they needed audiences to trust Spider-Man again. I know people say, well, he's Spider-Man. Well, yeah, that didn't fucking save fucking the Justice League, now did it? That didn't save the Justice League movie from being a box office disappointment. So they decided to have Iron Man there because it was kind of to help integrate Spider-Man into the universe in a natural way, and people would trust Iron Man more than they would Spider-Man because some people got really burned by The Amazing Spider-Man 2 or just Andrew Garfield's take in general. And there is basis for the Iron Man relationship in the comics, because during the J. Michael Straczynski era, Peter, Mary Jane, and Aunt May lived in Avengers Tower at the time, and Peter obviously was on the pro-registration side, which led to him unmasking himself because Tony told him to, and then he gave him that really fucking dumb Iron Spider suit that people like for some reason. The MCU one, I think, is vastly better, but the reason why I'm more okay, because I was initially a bit hesitant on them putting an emphasis on Tony Stark as like a mentor figure, because I've already been severely burned by the Civil War comic, and I just really hated that dynamic because of it. But the MCU version actually made it more palatable because this Peter is a teenager, he's still starting out, he's not like the comic version at the time who was married, had an established place in the universe, and had his fucking extensive rogues gallery by then. So it makes more sense for this Peter Parker to look up to Tony Stark. Like, I know some people aren't big on it, but I think they did a really good job with integrating it into the storyline that took place between Civil War and Far From Home. So yeah, like that's if this were a Spider-Man podcast, I would be the one talking most of the time, but this is not a Spider-Man podcast, this is a Star Wars podcast. What?
Alright, so me saying that we're gonna get a good Fantastic Four film, that was just a throwaway statement.
Oh, shit.
But then that became like 10 minutes of you epically spurging out about Spider-Man. And, okay, I'm gonna have to cut this out, but I love your passion, so I'm gonna find a way to put this in another podcast, like, okay, when we do Spider-Man Life Story, I'll put it at the end of that.
No, just isolate the last, 5 to 10 minutes and put it like its own video.
Okay. And then I'll include my reactions here for added comedic effect.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I am so sorry. I did not know that was meant to be a throwaway.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving back on top. Okay, what are we talking about again?
Just how we felt about the announcements.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so